record this. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm going to put it out there for the world.
I am stoked.
Good.
I think
Me
I
too.
wet my pants.
Me too. Here comes the show. In 3, 2, 1.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
This is The Boop Show, episode 308. It's October 25th, 2021. Welcome back to The Boop Show, everybody. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Dunaway. Hi, Brian Dunaway.
Oh, hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to just be doing a show about independently developed video games.
Independence.
Yeah, I like. Sometimes
From
those give me the
major
most.
studios.
They give me the most happiness in video game life. The little indies, man. They're the ones I like. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, there's practically zero commitment on indie games usually.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's exceptions. I play Graveyard Keeper once a week, and I have done for almost a year. And there's new content coming out, but for the most part, 6-10 hours.
Yeah.
Give me my indies.
You get in, you get out, you move on.
You get in, you get out.
Yeah, you happily hand your
Lovely.
$15 over to a cool developer, and you hope they make more cool things in the future.
Make it bigger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Speaking of which, I have been way back into a game that I guess I don't know if I fell off. I started and then thought, oh, I can't start it now because I got all this other stuff going on, so I'm going to pick it up later and I'll play the whole thing. And then I just forgot. And that game is Guacamelee 2, which I got completely freaking hooked on over the weekend again. And I love the first game, played that completely. And the second game is freaking great, man. What a great Metroidvania, weird, turn it on its head kind of freaking weird game that game is. I love it. And it's funny.
And that is so okay. So I remember playing Guacamelee, and I can't remember if I ever played 2 or not. And I never really thought about what genre it fit into because we weren't doing that at that time. We were doing like the final score and stuff, and we didn't focus on what game type it was as much. We was just more like, this is what I'm playing this week.
Yeah,
I'm playing Guacamelee.
Yeah. No, I understand. It'd be the same for me, the same kind of feeling at the time. But man, that game is great. It's like got all the trappings of your good, the best Metroids and the best Castlevanias. It's a 2D adventure going up and down and all over the place. You got a map and it's all over the place. What you're describing
is
well, of the genre, the subgenre known as Metroidvanias, there's 2 games that aren't Metroid or Castlevania that I love the most, and it's this, and it's that SteamWorld Dig 2 game. They're both sequels.
Oh my God, you love that game so much. Why don't you just
SteamWorld Dig
marry
2.
it?
I loved it. It was so good. In fact, playing this makes me want to finish it and then go play SteamWorld Dig 2 again.
Right.
Because they're both great. Just know, going into them, that they are what I just said. They're Metroidvanias, which means they're difficult. They're meant to be. They're challenging. They got weird hidden areas that you want to try to find. You're going to see an area that you're going to frustratingly go, damn it, I can't get up there. Why? It's because you're not far enough to have the ability to get there. But you'll get it, and then you'll go, and then you can go back and do it. And Hollow Knight, also very good. Chat room saying it's GOAT. I would actually argue Hollow Knight is a little off-putting because it takes you in hours before you get your damn map and you don't know where the F you are. I hate that. First part of the game.
I do not like that part of it, but but it does. It sucks. The Hollow Knight sucks you in. Every time I think I'm like, I played enough Hollow Knight. And I'm like,
you can
let
play
me just
some more.
load it up real quick.
Yeah, I could play some more. Always play more.
I could play it some more. By the way, Drinkbox Studios, the indie developer who made that Guacamelee 2 and 1, has a new game coming up in 2022 where you're gonna. It's called Nobody Saves the World.
What?
Transform from a featureless nobody into a slug, a ghost, and a dragon in this new take on action RPG.
Oh, sign me up. Oh, look at this.
It's very
Saves the
cutesy. I like
world.
it.
Okay, here, I'm putting this up, chat. You guys can see a taste of this.
And I'm adding it to my wish list because if there's anything that will help a indie developer out on Steam is to add it to your wish list.
interesting.
Gives them a
So
leg up. Just
are
like
you-
podcast reviews help us.
Are you the mouse in this scenario, running around? Your little mouse.
You're the blob. I think you're the blob in this
Oh.
scenario, but you can transform because you start out as a slug
Yeah.
or a ghost or a dragon, apparently was the description of it. Very still early on. I love this art style. I dig what it's got. They always do good. Drinkbox
Yeah,
has
it's definitely
good
different
artist.
than the Guacamelee art is very different than this though. The
right.
Guac-
You can transform into many forms, unlock 15 plus distinct forms from rat. So you said rat, right?
Yeah, I did say
To
rat.
rogue, to robot.
Rat. Can I be a rat robot?
I would absolutely think that you could be a rat robot.
Okay, that's my goal in life.
Robot rat.
I want to achieve rat robot status, but sooner
Yeah.
than later if I can do it.
I love the coloring too because it looks very adventure. It looks like
Yeah.
I'm on an adventure.
Yeah, their color stuff, even in the two Guac games, are great.
Yeah.
Soundtracks are amazing too. They're just a cool developer to keep your eyes on, man.
Yeah.
I like those
Always
guys.
watching the drink box.
Drinkbox
Drink box. Ooh,
Studios.
ooh, an ecto cooler. It's Halloween time.
Oh, I should say, Guacamelee 2 on the Switch is currently $6. Guacamelee 2 on the Xbox Game Pass is, of course, on Game Pass, so you can play it on Game Pass.
How much is that, Scott?
Free, except, it depends on how many video games you play. Lately, I've been playing
Right.
so many games that mathematically, by the averages, most of the games I am playing are free because I'm playing so many of them on Game Pass that it's starting to average out to be very little per game. So if all
Right.
you played, if you got a month of Game Pass and all you played was Guacamelee 2, well, then you paid $15 for Guacamelee 2.
Right.
If you are playing as many Game Pass games as I am, dabbling and switching and messing around, then I'm probably paying 25 cents or 50 cents a game or something. I'm playing a lot of games.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I was also going to talk about my Xbox Game Pass because what a time to be alive, Scott.
Yep.
I had to do my Boop Show homework, which we're going to talk about here very shortly. But I realized about midway through the day when I was at work on my lunch break, I went, "Oh no, I don't know how large that game is that I'm playing this week.
Yeah.
What if it's 15 gigs? I haven't even started the download, and I got to stream when I get home. What to do?" So what I did was I loaded up the little Xbox app thing there on my phone,
Yeah.
and I installed both my console and PC because I have an Xbox Game Pass, and I could do it either way. I installed it on both locations just in case.
Yep.
Just in case it one sucked. You know how that goes. And when I came home, guess what? It was ready to play.
Yeah.
It was ready to play.
You just download it.
They finally got it.
Yeah.
The promise. Remember when we were all talking about back in the day? It's like, I don't want to always be online on my Xbox. I don't want that. I don't want that. And they're like, but there's a lot of benefits. And like, screw it.
Yep.
And it's like, give me some examples. And they said, well, this kind of stuff that you
Yeah.
can download. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's never going to work.
Yep.
And for the longest time, it was just like, I'd try to install something to be like, oh, can't connect to your Xbox right now, man. And screw all that. But it looks like it finally just works. Just in time for cloud gaming.
That's
right.
It
This
works.
technology is now obsolete, and it won't even matter. You won't have to load anything up anyway.
Well,
But they finally got it.
I mean, cloud gaming.
Right.
Cloud gaming is on its way, and it's a great next level thing. But there's still enough latency where I'm happy I can still
yeah.
play this stuff natively.
Absolutely.
FIFA 21, for example, if I'm like, what I'd like to do is play a little soccer, I could just click
Yes.
that and say,
You want to
"Ooh."
pretend like you're a little Ted Lasso. I got you.
Yeah, and I could look at this list and say, "Oh, it's got local co-op. What? Xbox local zip zab HDR10. Awesome. Optimized for X and S plus PC business. Well, here you go
check
then.
box.
Then I just
Check
put
box.
download the console, and we're
Yeah,
done.
check box, baby.
Yeah.
Check box.
It's pretty great.
And even on my console. Now I don't know how to affect my PC, but on the console and the Xbox. Once again, we're giving a lot of Xbox love today. Sorry if you're a PlayStation person. Send me a PS5.
That's
Maybe
fine.
I'll love it too.
PlayStation. Hey, if they had a Game Pass equivalent, I'd be stoked for them too.
Well, they kind of do, but I
no,
don't
they
have
don't.
I got
It's
a
not
PS4
even
Pro.
close. Not even close.
Anyway,
Now tell me.
You're right. So-
let me know when Sony will let you play day one Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man game or that Wolverine game on the
Right.
day it comes out for their low monthly rate of $15. Let me know when that
I'm trying.
happens.
I'm fishing for a PS5, Scott. Shut up.
All right, fair enough.
So send me a PS5. I'll hook you up. So checkbox. It worked great. Loved it. Thank you for technology finally working. Nothing more frustrating than the promise of technology that never actually quite works.
Yeah.
but it's all smooth and seamless now.
Yeah.
Loved it. Oh, I was gonna say it also gave me the option. It's like, hey Brian, you've only got the Xbox Series S and with a really small hard drive.
Yeah.
And it's like you're out of space. And I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
oh no, but it said, you want to delete something right there in the app? And I said, yeah. Boom, I'm not playing that. Get rid of that, and it's still installed. Seamless.
My game next week is on the
Service
Game Pass
worked.
deal. I found a really cool little indie on there this week, and I can't wait to talk about it.
There's
Next
a
week.
lot of great indies coming to the day one Game Pass that we might be talking about today, as well as some things that have been out for a while that are now making their way to the Game Pass. So go ahead and roll that Xbox Microsoft ad, Scott. We'll go
Yep.
ahead and get paid.
That's right. Thanks, Microsoft, for all your efforts, and let us know when that check coming in. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Time for us to dive into the following information. That's right. It's news about things. A little bit of news in the world of indie games coming out this week and next week. Moonglow Bay hitting on this 26th. That's tomorrow. Now, don't let the Guardians of the Galaxy, freak you out too much, or early access of Darkest Dungeons 2 coming out on the Epic Game Store. Don't let those completely cloud your vision on what you might be able to go out and check out, because Moonglow Bay is here for you.
Yes.
Xbox Day One, Game Pass, like we just mentioned, also on Steam. This is from Bunny Hug and Coatsink. In Moonglow Bay, you play as a rookie angler, working together with friends, family, and neighbors to hone your fishing skills. This is made for me, by the way.
And it should be, because it's on your wish list, I believe. Because
Is it?
Yeah. So one of the things I look for is like, let's see which of my friends likes this game, and I think you were on there. And if not, you need to edit.
Big shock. Scott likes stupid fishing games. And I do. I like games where, especially when it's like a little bit of a different take, like this has kind of Minecraft-y, boxy looking graphics, and it's a little more stylized than your typical fishing game. But look at that. You just went fishing and found a marshmallow or some shit. I don't know what that was. But
Yeah, a little voxel marshmallow bit. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's what you want. Anyway,
Squid, right?
Moonglow Bay is set along the eastern Canadian coastline during the 1980s. Oh wait, did I say Canada? Let me. I have to do something when I do that. Hold on. Here it is, right here. Canada. All right. Sorry. Moving on. Did you get some slice of life fishing RPG? Oh, dude, I'm playing the shit out of this.
Yeah, I am too. Day one on Xbox Game Pass. Come on,
It's
man.
got drop in and drop out local co-op and some catch of the day stuff. Boy, this art style is a lot like the other game I'm going to review next week.
Okay.
Which we'll
Yeah.
talk about later.
You don't see fishing voxel too much in the user-defined tags on
No,
Steam too
no.
often. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this looks great though. I'll play this on my.
But yeah,
on my
we
phone.
we give Xbox Game Pass a lot of love in here because we personally enjoy it so much, and we just joke about advertising stuff. But Steam, my other favorite place, is you can get this game on Steam on October the 26th, just as well. It's probably going to be. I'm just trying to see the price here. Usually I like it when it's on the Switch because Switch always lets you do pre-orders, and so does. I really wish Steam would just give me a
Steam lets you do
pre-order price for
pre-orders
these.
sometimes, not
They
always.
do sometimes, but the Switch always.
Depends on how
has
soon
it.
or how early the Switch has them. Like if it's a game that's coming right out,
Week
then they'll
before
list it.
that's when I'm usually that's when it impacts me.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for week before prices, I'm like that's then when it affects
And
me.
Steam didn't have one. That's weird.
Steam doesn't have a pre-order on this, but it does come out. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yep.
Tomorrow.
So, tomorrow's a big day. Guardians of the
Tomorrow's
Galaxy
a big day!
Yeah, I think I'm getting Guardians and that Darkest Dungeon. Tomorrow's a day I go broke. All right. Here's the other one coming out the 28th, which is Thursday. Little boy falls asleep to a horrible nightmare. Can you make him happy again? That's right. The game is called Happy Game, developed by Amanita Design, also published by them. Brand new psychedelic horror adventures from the creators of Boneticula and Chuchel.
Bonacula, but it's like Bunny and
Is it
Dracula.
Bonacula? I get it.
But
All right.
but are you talking about botanical?
Oh, I might be thinking of Botanical, which is
You're not thinking
these
botanical
guys.
and chuckle, are you? Is that what I'm trying to see where you're reading it? Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Endure and escape 3 unforgettable nightmares. Solve deeply disturbing puzzles, if not so charming environments, and deal with suspicious smiley faces and pink bunnies, creepy songs, and screeches from the Czech free folk band DVA.
It is botanical, but it's botanical with a eula at the end. But Tentacula, which
but
I've played before, as
Tentacula.
well as the Chuckles.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Chuchel.
Mature content, they tell you about this. Some people might find discomfort with seizures and stuff with flashing lights. Also, if they're sensitive to flashing imagery, blood, or violence. Ooh.
Oh, me.
Ooh, absurd,
This is not sounding
comical.
like a cute and cozy game at all.
No, it's not a happy game.
It looks cute and cozy, but
But hey, that's what they tell you until they screw you over with violence. That's what they always say. That's what they say until they get all violent on you.
Right.
Finally, coming out same day, 26th, we have Defend the Rook from 1UP Plus. This is a roguelike tactics board combined board game combined with a tower defense elements. I'm out. Not
do you
playing
notice
that.
that I put like some options underneath that? I like how this looks.
It looks
I like
cool,
some
but I
tower
don't want to play
defenses.
that. I don't want to play it if it's got tower defense bullshit.
Look at it, but they even promise, like in the first part of the description, this is not your typical tower defense.
Yeah, but it's got tower defense elements. That's all you needed to
But
tell
you've
me.
been fooled before.
I have been fooled before, and I can see from this video that it's got cool tactics stuff, but also those towers in between moves, you're juicing them with extra power and shit. Hate that. Hate it. It looks neat though.
I really want this. I want it to be VR though. It really felt like I needed to be in a VR. I need to be playing one of those characters.
I don't know, like maybe VR is weird. Yeah, me and VR are having a not a disagreement. We're just having a moment. me and VR are not the pals we used to be because I'm not sure VR knows what it needs to be yet, and I think
Absolutely not. VR is yes.
we're in a place. We're in a place.
Yeah, well, every once in a while something comes along that it's just like I have to have, but for the most part, if I'm doing my weekly casual game looking, hitting the Oculus store ain't on the list.
No.
That ain't on the list.
No, I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. And until these things are the size of these glasses I'm wearing, I don't know that we're going to get there. But also, it's fine for the moment. But oftentimes, even my favorite things in VR, I'll play them and then I don't know, 2 hours into it, I'm like, boy, it'd be great if I could just do this on a screen. This is a pain in my ass right now. Like it's blurrier than it should be. I don't really need this. I can zoom
you're
with a mouse.
still working on Quest 1 though, right?
No, well, yeah, but they're not that different. I played with a Quest 2. They're the same. It's just slightly better, hardware in there. But it's not like
everything.
It's not like a change in it. It still weighs basically the same. It's still basically the same.
Are you wearing glasses or contacts? Do you mind me asking?
I don't wear either. These are for
So-
blue block. These are just helping me with computer screen stuff. So that's fine when I wear a headset. That's not my problem. I just want them to be this size. This is what VR's future looks like. This, Brian. This.
Right. Agreed. And
Okay.
we're not there yet.
Until we're there, I'm not saying saying it's all shit because it isn't. These are all stepping stones.
Oh, let me tell you something. And it's not going to be all the way there for some people because even those light 3D glasses that are practically nothing, even those people go like, I don't want to wear glasses. I don't want to put glasses on. I just want it to be in 3D. Well, it's not a 3DS, you magic monkey. It's not.
You magic
You
monkey.
can't chop the monkey paw off and hope that you can get everything that you want. Ain't happening.
I'm all about magic monkeys. I'm glad you brought
Magic
I'm
paw
glad you
monkeys,
invoked it.
man. If you don't deal with the magic monkey paw.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't mess with the magic
it.
monkey. That's what I always say. Hey, don't forget, everybody listening, that the Boop Show is just one part of 3 big shows here on the Frog Pants Network that deal exclusively with video game coverage. Yeah, that's right. FrogPantsPlays.com will show you all of them. Over there, you got your Boop Show, like we're doing here, where we talk all about indie games and the indie scene. And then you got Core, which is a big, broad industry show, which you can get on Thursdays live or on the podcast. Go check that out.
Wait,
or
is it a big broad?
It's a fraud. It's a big fraud. Is that what I said?
Oh, I thought you said it was a big broad.
Oh,
okay.
It's a big broad.
I thought like the fat
we don't
lady.
like to say that anymore. Big broad is an unfortunate term
okay,
these
all right.
days.
Apologize.
And then you got your instance, which used to be all about World of Warcraft, but that thing has expanded. Now we talk about all kinds of stuff. We had a really great couple of weeks ago episode on game security, which I highly recommend people check out. With me and Jocelyn Kearney and, of course, Garrett Weinzierl. That's a fun show to do. We do that on Fridays. But what I'm saying is we kind of have it all, and they're all very different in their own way, but they cover this vast business we call video games. So go check it out, frogpantsplays.com, or you can just click around on frogpants.com, and you'll find it all. Okay?
You'll get there.
All right.
You'll get there.
The games we played this week. I'm going to start. I played a game called Inscription, except it's spelled wrong. Okay? You just need to know that while you're looking for it, because you're not going to find it so easy if you don't know about this weird spelling of this game.
What's the weird part? Did they put a Z in there instead of an S? What's the weird part to the inscription?
If you like the I that's in the word inscription, the second I of the three that are normally there, well, I got bad news. They replaced that with a Y. So
with a Y, okay.
Yeah, if you can live with that, inscription.
Yeah.
Then good for you. So this is Inscription. This is a brand new game out only, let's see, the 19th, so a week, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, a little more than a week, something like that. Developed by Daniel Mullins Games, one dude. Okay. Although he may be more people now. He did that Pony Island thing a while back, which was very strange.
Everybody loves it, and I've seen it all over the place. Like, it's free to play at a couple of places, and great deals on it. Yeah, they're doing some things.
That thing was his big moment.
Yeah.
And now he's parlayed that into another big moment here. Published by Devolver Digital, which always grabs my eye because their stuff is just weird as shit, and I love it. And the game is called Inscription. And you might be looking at the video right now and going, oh, a deck builder. I think I've seen those before. And you'd be right. You have seen those before, but you ain't seen one like this one. This is one of the weirdest, coolest things I've laid hands on in a very long time. And I've played a lot of deck builders. I'm not even particularly very good at any of them. I just like the loop of a deck builder. I like what you do in them, how they play out, that sort of stuff. This thing is weird. You wake up in an attic of some house somewhere. Not addict, but an attic.
Oh, okay. You don't wake up inside an attic. You didn't like cut them open like a tauntaun and crawl inside.
Yeah,
and wake up and like, what did I do?
Yeah,
what a weird night.
Thought these drug users smelled bad on the outside, that kind of thing. No, it's not like that at all. You wake up in this room. It's a hardwood floor, and the first thing you notice is the floor is kind of low res, and it's not really clear why. Like, everything's just a little crusty in this game on purpose.
Okay. Yeah.
The art style is the thing that really, really grabbed me. I don't even know there's nothing to compare it to. It's just a mishmash of, like, when pre-rendered 3D, like for a Diablo or StarCraft game or a lot of stuff in the 90s, pre-rendered 3D was cool, but it had really crusty, like, blurry edges to everything.
Yes.
This game's got a lot of that, but on purpose.
Right.
It also has some polygonal stuff that's like real-time polygons, but some of them are very, like, PlayStation 1 jaggedy and a little wiggly, and they don't really, they don't fit right. A combination of those things and some pre-rendered stuff and weird sound and music and oversaturation. When you oversaturate something, you get a lot of the weird, it's not blacks, it's like
purples.
The blacks are kind of bluish purple. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I feel you.
Normally that's a bad thing.
It gives it a little bit warmth to it usually.
Yeah, and normally it's a bad thing you're trying to adjust for. And this thing, it just embraces that look and says that's how our game looks, and it's to its success. It's a very, very striking, cool thing. Now, a lot of people may think, just looking at this video or otherwise hearing about it, that it's scary in some way. It's not scary. It's creepy. Like,
it looks like some kind of tarot cards in a simple form, and you're fighting. Your opponent looks like a voodoo witch doctor,
kind of a voodoo kind of vibe going on, except he only puts the mask on when he has to play a certain character. So, like, when it's kind of great actually, because in these deck builders, oftentimes there's a point in your run or in your journey where you're going to talk to a merchant, for example. And it's like, let's say it's an old guy that sells potions or whatever. This is very normal in a game like that.
Typical old guy.
Yeah, and this game has that, except instead of this old lady who's going to sell you some kind of cool whatever, it's him putting a mask on and pretending to be the old lady. So it's him across the table going, look at my wares, that kind of thing. Now, he's not actually voicing any of this. It's all told in this weird grumbly distortion. But the text is really great. Here he's doing it now. He's playing the boss as well. He plays everything. You never really get to see who that is over there. You just get these. But that's evil
great.
Eyes.
It really feels like you're playing. You're doing a little role playing with your little card game. I mean, it feels like you're actually sitting with a friend, who's great at impressions.
Yeah, kind of. Except he's kind of a dick because you don't know why you're here. You feel like you're in purgatory, and you're trying to pass some test, but you're not sure what the test is, and the way the test plays out is you're playing this card game, and he kind of cheats sometimes, and you start with these really simple animals for your cards. A squirrel, it's this cute little squirrel card, but then you only do that because you have to sacrifice the squirrel for another card. So you put the squirrel out who can't do any damage to anybody and only has 1 hit point. And then immediately you play like, I don't know, a stoat or a wolf, and that animal goes on top of your cat and kills it, or your squirrel and kills it, sacrifices it. And now you've got a wolf on the board, and it may have some actual damage dealing. So he's doing the same thing over there. And every time you cause damage to him, some of his teeth get added to a scale that weighs it in your direction, so you're winning.
I see the teeth now.
Yeah, and later you do a teeth thing as well. It's hard to explain, but there's a bunch of cards that do weird shit. Some of the cards talk to you for some reason. They're like part of the story. The room itself, so between rounds at times, not always, but at times, he'll send you on like a little quest. He'll be like, get up and stretch your legs and something. And you'll get up in the room and move around kind of Myst style and solve like overworld style puzzles. Like there's a clock on the wall and you don't know what you're supposed to set it to do anything with it or whatever.
Some environmental puzzles to go with your card game.
Because you're trying to get out of the attic, basically. You're trying to get out of this place. And there's just a bunch of
so this is not like playing with your friend. This weirdo is more like Jumanji. You got sucked into like a game of Jumanji of some sort.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Can't leave until you finish the game.
Except it sounds creepy. Like here's some sound from the game, and
give me some sound.
This is just random samplings, but I'll explain it as I play it here.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Lots of crusty,
that's
pixely
aggressive
stuff. Right here. So a mix of chiptune.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. This right here. This is him talking. Listen to this. That's his voice.
That is cool. So it's very atmospheric kind of game.
Oh, very atmospheric.
I love it.
Yeah, I love good sound in a video game, and this game is just chock full of like really interesting choices. It's the most unique.
That could really get you into like a mood where you're like, I feel like if you play this game, you turn out the lights. It's not really scary, like you said, but you get so engaged that when you leave the game, it's like you can't stop hearing the
a little bit. Yeah, there's some of that. It's a little unsettling on purpose, and I find it just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just
I love that. I know I get it. I love atmospheric games that take you to that point where it's like I'm totally immersed because you've managed to create these waves in my brain that just make it satisfying, and I want to stay here for a while. Yep. I don't know why.
It's pretty great, and also
I'm here forever.
The other thing I like is the game is hard, but there are matches where I am sure I'm losing, and I will somehow eke out a win. Like it's insane how close I get to dying, and then I end up winning.
Right. That's like my report card every 6 weeks, whenever or however long it was back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no,
every
I
6
totally
weeks.
failed. There's like no way I passed that class. There's no. Oh, I made a D. Okay.
Yeah, that's nice, right? Or the other day, I've been trying to get my blood pressure down because I have a family history of high blood pressure, so they're trying to keep an eye on it at this stage.
Right.
And I've been hoping it was going down. So today I was like totally gritting my teeth. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do my test. It's gonna please be lower. Please be. I know it's gonna be high because I ate like a weird burger yesterday, and I'm like, oh, please don't.
A weird burger.
Yeah. So I did.
I want to hear about your story, but then I need you to circle back around to the weird burger.
To the weird burger. But I ate it, and then, I'm sorry, I did the test, and it came back right where I needed it to be, and that was like, oh, okay.
Oh, I just need to eat one of those weird burgers every day, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, it's really cool. I want to read a quote from a review I read from Cosmin Vasil. He writes for, I forgot the website. Dang it. And he's got a cool name. But anyway, here's what he said.
He does.
I drop a wolf cub at an opening lane. A squirrel is ready to absorb damage nearby. I also have a tree stump that will protect me from attacks. The problem is that I draw blood-based creatures, but have a limited supply of it. I have plenty of bones, but my draw does not offer me a coyote that I could really use. It might be time to think of whether I can use a cheat to get ahead, or if I might lose one of my lives in this battle. Either way, I might be unable to actually get to the boss, and it might be a good idea to start thinking about what kind of death card I want. Cosman.
Yes, that is so good.
It really summed it up.
Inscription with a Y.
Yep.
Not the first I or the last I,
Yeah.
but the middle I.
That's right,
Scry.
the middle I with a scry. Yep, exactly.
Right. It's just the scry part that they're trying to go for.
Here are my
Yeah.
pros. Graphics are insane. Weird as shit. Mix of old and new, janky and unsettling. Very cool combo. I love it all.
Right.
Nothing bad to say about the art style. It's just incredible choices. The game is hard, but so fun. You feel like you are not being punished. It feels like you're just having a good time. The missed aspects are really interesting and unexpected. I also think it's funny and odd, but in an oddly funny way. Like nothing's like overt
Right.
humor. It's like, ugh, really? He said that? Okay, that's kind of weird, but funny at the same time. That kind of thing. Cons, I can't think of one. The only one is I'm told that the game has an end, and that makes me sad because I'd hope that maybe by the end of whatever story they're trying to tell,
Yeah.
there'd be like an endless mode or something, and maybe there is.
Yeah.
And I've just been told there's an end, and that bums me out.
Campaign is fine, but it's in a card game. But I mean, you want to have replayability, right? You don't want to just it to
In theory,
end.
yeah. In theory, I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always say that, but sometimes I don't. But whatever. I always like to hear when a game has some longevity beyond its playtime for whatever
Right.
campaign they have designed. So here's my score. This is the highest score I've given this year.
Oh,
Yeah. Listen to this: 9 crusty cards out of 10 low polygon hands trying to kill me. That's what they're getting. 9 out of 10, baby. I love
that
it.
is nice.
I love it. I loved it. I think it is a piece of art, and
Right.
should be played by anybody who is interested by any of the stuff I described today. It's not going to be for everybody, but
Inscription. Just remember, scry is in the middle, like a fortune teller or a foretell in the future.
yes.
you know?
Although if you
That's how
type
remember
it spelled correctly on Steam, it actually delivers it. So
Oh,
they've
that's
planned
good.
on that, I guess.
Auto spell correct.
Yeah.
Good job.
And also, I guess it's on Switch. I don't know what that version's like. I haven't played it, but it seems like a really small screen for what this game does. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Plus, I've been watching the play, and mouse movement seems like will give you a better flow than going click, 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 click.
Yeah,
that
they're-
you have to
I
probably
mean,
do with controller sticks.
I think a controller's probably okay, but you're right. Like mouse is going to be quicker on selecting cards and junk like that. It's really neat. It's a really cool game. All right, that's mine. Again, Inscription's the name. We'll say the name at the end of all these reviews so that you have a good idea
That's
of what we're
high
talking
praise.
about.
I'm very excited about this game. I saw it as well, and I was like, I'd have played that, and then you was like, dibs. And I'm like, do it, man.
Do it. I mean, should say it was $17. That's what I paid. It's on sale for their launch for a little while longer, and I think when the sale's done, it'll be 19. So it's not a huge break, but a couple bucks.
Yeah.
And I was going to say one other thing about it. What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I went in thinking this will be interesting, and I came away going, that is freaking rad. And one of my
Yes.
favorite games of the year. All right, Brian, speaking of indies and the earlier aforementioned Game Pass, there's a brand new game out called Into the Pit. Tell me all about it.
Yes, Into the Pit hit Xbox Game Pass on 10/19 last week. And I was like, what is this? It's a fast-paced retro first-person roguelike. That doesn't sound like something I've ever played. So, yeah, it is a roguelike first-person shooter. Into the Pit, where you have the hands of a wizard and the heart of a warrior.
Whoa.
Yeah, right. Well, you need to collect runes and keys to determine which beast you will face in the pit. This kind of Doom-like, but has like this weird neon glow about everything. Do you pick up weapons? No. Your hands are your weapons. Do you have a staff and rod? No. You're just literally shooting projectiles out of your left hand.
Were we
and your
right
hand.
last week when we compared it to Hexen? Would you say that was a fair comparison?
That's a fair comparison.
Okay.
It has that. There's not as much. Okay, so all those games kind of have like a demonic overtone. And that's here too, but it almost seems farcical. Maybe it doesn't seem like there's a real serious look at that. This taking place, the era where you start out at is you start out in town. There's villagers who are all hidden in their various areas behind doors, and you can ring bells, and they'll come and they'll talk to you. And you all is just a little picture in some dialogue, but it is like that Dark Ages type era.
Yeah.
And the town is set upon the pit, And in the pit, you must dive because there's the right hand man of the king. Maybe I don't know. And right hand's not the right word. What's the word?
The hand of the king. The hand of the king.
What's that?
The hand.
It's
of the
not
king.
the hand of the king. He's
No.
he's a albatross. That's not right. It's an A word, and I've seen it a million times, and I've already forgotten it.
Albatross. Hold on.
It's not albatross.
Abattoir.
That's me getting the name wrong. So
Chat room will pipe in with something here. I don't know what.
Yeah, so he's Alder, Alder. Oh, forget it. Whatever. So that's not important. Anyway, you're chasing after somebody. It's an Albert. You get nailed it. Chat room. You're after Fat Albert. Hey!
Wow.
Into the
I'm
pit
really
we
glad.
go.
I'm glad somebody got the IP after Cosby went to prison. That's good to hear that Fat Albert
Right.
lives
It's
on.
Alderman.
Yeah.
There you go. Shay nailed it. Alderman is
Alderman.
what we're after. He's an advisor to the royal. And anyway, he's causing havoc, and he's stolen some of the villagers. He stole them away into the pit. We've got to go into the pit because there are no villagers left in town. There are only the shopkeepers left in town. And in order for those shopkeepers to open up, you got to get down into the pit and rescue those villagers. Along the way, though, you gotta open the pit. A little ceremony.
Sorry, I just saw you jump into what was obviously a bunch of demon hands sticking out of the ground, and you jumped into it like it was a hot tub.
I had to make sure. No, I had to make sure that those demon hands. This is me playing. I had to make sure they're demon hands. It's the first time I've encountered them. When I review these games, I do everything stupid on purpose because I want to know. You know, it's like,
that made
can
me
you
laugh.
fall off here?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. When you jump on these things, what happens?
Yeah.
When you jump on those hands, those ghost hands that are sticking out, or ghost tentacles that are sticking out of the ground, when you jump on them, guess what? You take some damage. Can you draw the bad guys, the other bad guys, into that area and hurt them? No, you cannot.
Oh.
No, you cannot. They
Oh.
don't hurt each other.
Okay.
No.
Well, they're
So
they're
that's-
all buddies. They're friends. They're trying to kill you.
They're all-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to kill me, but no damage on friendly fire
Sure.
on their end. And since I'm playing single player by myself, I'm not playing with them. I'm a wizard. I'm a single entity. I'm actually looking for another. I think I'm looking for my brother wizard, if I understand the story correctly. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The really interesting part of this game, first of all, is it's visually just a lot of fun. Like I said, if you've ever played any Hexen, Dune, those kind of games, you've seen those, those big blocky maps, and it feels like all of those games. But then it's got this cool, irradiated looking haze on everything. Some
Yeah.
people don't like that. Some people actually complained about it. I'm like, all right.
It's obviously by design. That's clear
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
And there's actually a setting also there's, I think I've seen some people complain about it. You'll notice how chunky those texture maps are on those walls.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's a little
Very, very
it's a little
Quake.
ugly.
It's very Quake.
It's very
Doom.
It's ugly. It's ugly. That's fine. You can actually turn that off. It's in the settings. You can control.
Oh,
I don't like
really?
doing that because I like to play it the way the developer intended. By the way,
Yeah.
Null Pointer Games
Uh-huh.
is the developer.
Yeah.
Publisher is Humble Games, and this game is called Into the Pit. And you are basically, like I said, you're playing Doom, but you're upgrading. I'm sorry. I did say Doom. Okay, look, it's not really Doom because it's a roguelike, right?
Right.
So
but it's a
there's
first-person
runs.
shooter, so it's kind of like Dune.
Yeah, it's kind of like it
Not Dune.
shares DNA.
I keep saying
The
Doom,
roguelike-
and I mean Dune is what I mean Doom, not Dune. Gosh dang it.
That's what I keep doing.
Yeah.
Doom.
Yeah. It's
Let's just say
a
Hexen.
bad week
That way
for,
we won't get confused.
It's a bad week for trying to determine if you're saying Dune or Dune. It's just hard. I'm definitely not doing it right.
It's very difficult. All right, where was I at? Okay, so we're making this
Sorry,
description
go
of this
ahead.
game a lot harder than it needs to be.
Sure.
All right, so when you dive into so when you summon the pit, you start out with some particular buffs, and they're all tied into these runes that you're given right away. And you lock those into a couple little places. There's couple little places for you to lock those in. Then you throw a key in there, and that generates a level of the pit. And when you go into the pit, there's 4 altars in the pit on that level that you're trying to get through.
Yeah.
And each of those altars has 2 doors for which you to choose. And it's usually like you can go in and you can choose things that will benefit your wealth, or it'll benefit your maybe your health. You can also there's like you can heal up for one of them.
Yeah.
There's a luck area which increases your chance of getting a really cool upgrade on your spells.
Yeah.
And it's just upgrading on your weapons. It's really not really any spells. It's more like I have a long range plasma or a short one, or it's just this energy balls flying out of your hands.
Yeah.
right now what I'm doing is I've actually went into a I forget what this level's called, but it's one of the places where you'll have like a chest and you go in and you get what are called moats, and these moats are important that I just picked up because they're ones that allow you to cheat death.
Gotcha.
So roguelike, very easy to die. You always try not to die, because if you die, you go back to town, you start your run over, you lose all of your upgrades you did, you lose all your progress into the pit.
Yeah.
And you have to start back over.
That makes sense. So it's
makes sense.
roguelike. You
Go
know
back
what it
to-
reminds me of a little bit? That roguelike made by the Farm Together people. It was called Ziggurat 1 and 2. Ziggurat had this same kind of thing. Did you ever play Ziggurat?
Right.
Ziggurat's awesome. Oh,
I'm
man.
trying to remember. I know we have someone called Ziggurat that.
Oh yeah, we
hangs
have
out.
a community member named Ziggurat. That's true. That's
I'm
true.
trying to remember what the game was like.
Yeah, Ziggurat was Ziggurat 2 in particular. Very, very good game. I can't believe
You're right. I'm looking at snaps now, and it does have a very similar visual look to it. You are correct.
Yeah,
correct.
there's something about that game that this is giving me
Yeah.
that vibe of, which is I think it's the roguelike element. Also, that game features what's the word? Not random. Well, I guess it is randomly generated rooms. So you'll come
Right.
into a zone and it'll be procedurally generated is what I meant to say.
Right.
Anyway, it'll never be the same every time you run it, and it's a shooter, and it's roguelike-y, and you get new stuff to unlock, and blah blah blah. It's a very cool one. of
I
those.
like that. I'm glad that you said the procedural generated, because that's what I thought I was getting into at first. I said, "Oh, I'm going to be hitting some procedurally generated, levels," and no, it's a shuffling. So you'll land in the first level of the pit based on certain runes you picked out, and then there's a shuffling that you could give you. Each altar could give you different options for what's going to be there.
Yep.
And then once you actually get into the instances or the rooms, then there's only so many.
Yeah.
You kind of get familiar with it. Now the enemies may be in a little different spot, or there may be more enemies or different types of enemies. But it's good because it's like, oh, you don't feel like you're getting lost all the time.
Sure.
It's like, okay, yeah, I know this map.
Yeah.
I know this level map. I can do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it here, but hey, I'll take the hand I am dealt.
Yeah, you will. The hand you were dealt. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, okay, so when the greatest joy of this game is in the beginning. When you first start playing, it's so fresh and so new, and I really dug right out of the gate what I was seeing. It was easy to get into because it's a first-person shooter. I know how to do that. And when you get into an instance in our area, you can actually just go through. There's no respawning of enemies. You just kill them. You go in. You break your what's called keystones.
Yeah.
Once you break all the keystones and you collect all the motes, which are like currency essentially in the game, then you just leave, and the altars finish that one. And once you do 4 on a level, then you can dive deeper into the pit.
Yeah. I noticed the guys blow up into gibs and jibs or whatever, however you feel
Yes,
like saying
they
it.
do gib and jib. They do the gib the jib.
We used to say, okay, so this is an interesting thought. You know how people struggle with whether they're supposed to say GIF or GIF, It's
Yes,
still kind of an
yes.
issue, which I don't think it should be an issue. It's stupid.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You know what I'm talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. But because it's a thing, I have a theory that gamers who kind of cut their teeth or played a lot of the era of Quake and that era of gaming,
Mhm.
when that term so I always said gibs, and I
Right.
know it's supposed to be jibs, but I
I've
think
heard
if you
people say
say
jibs, and I've heard people say gibbs.
I think if you say gibs and you're used to that,
Yeah.
that GIF just happened. You just started
I
saying
think it'd
GIF.
only be an issue if you were trying to say Barry Gibbs was playing Quake and he shot a lot of Gibbs. That would be confusing. But
Barry
yeah,
Gibbs. I want to shoot Barry
Yeah.
Gibbs. That's what I want to do.
I want to shoot Barry, but Jibs, yes, it's fine.
Jibs
It's
is fine, right?
because usually you're spelling anyway. How often do you actually use that in
Yeah, when is
day-to-day
Jibs?
conversation?
When is Jibs even part of anybody's normal everyday
Right.
conversation?
And so
except for
then the
us?
Jibs were all flying about,
Yeah,
and I knew I was in for a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I used to say it all the time. But then people always go say gin. Okay, well, say gift.
Right.
Okay, you want to play that game? Say gift, Mr. Gin. All right.
We're in a fight. So Into the Pit was the game I played. It's on the Xbox Game Pass. I played this on the PC. I had it on the Xbox. I tried the controller for a minute. Was not impressed with the controller because I'm not very good with a first-person shooter with a controller. It really didn't matter because when this game first starts, I played it like a first-person shooter. But the truth is, it's really more like it ends up being more rogue. You'll play for a first-person shooter when you first walk into a room and you go, "Brrrah," and you kill everything, and then you're like, okay, now I got to make choices. Now I got to make, upgrade choices and where am I going to go next? What's my path?
Right.
And that kind of stuff. So to me, the first person shooter part was really satisfying, except for some environmental objects that they really need to fix this part. This is where the game is kind of really broken for me is there's environmental objects that are attached to the walls that you run into. So, first person shooter, lots of times you'll walk into a room like, oh, shoot, I got to back out of here because there's a whole bunch of bad guys. So you start trying to backtrack where he was at.
Sure.
And since nothing's going to spawn behind you, you're safe. So you just start, you start laying fire down and you're backing up. The only problem is you get caught on a nail and you're like, oh, why can't I move? And next thing you know, you're dead. And it's like, I'm better than this. And it's like, fix your stupid game.
Yeah, fix your gosh dang game.
Because the most important part of this game to me is when you get in between, you got to make logical choice and stuff. But when you're actually in those instances, you need to be able to just flow in a good first person shooter way. You need to flow.
You don't mean the spinoff from Alice. Like you don't mean that flow.
No, you don't need that kind of flow. You need that mental flow. That place when you get into your first person shooter and you're just like you're jumping backwards and shooting stuff.
Flo, where she used to say, "Kiss my grits."
You're across stuff. You're running on walls. You're doing rocket jumps.
She used to say, "Kiss my grits, not kiss my grits." Okay,
so you're gonna stick with that.
All
right, we'll let it play then.
Chat room reminds me that was always short for giblets, so it should be Gibbs or not giblets. Sorry, giblets should be Jibs. Yeah. Anyway.
Developer Null Pointer Games.
Oh wait, here's some sound. Let's play sound from your game.
Oh wait, yeah.
All right, here you go.
This game. It's pretty good. It's atmospheric.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Trusty metal soundtrack.
A lot of metal in this game.
Ooh, I like it. Ooh, nice. This is good. I need to find this music. You know what this reminds me of? Maybe it's the same guy. Proteus. That soundtrack sounds a lot like this.
I can see that. Yeah, it gave me a Serious Sam vibe occasionally too.
Oh, Serious Sam has its moments. Sure.
Yeah, but it's not constantly running at you. There is actually an end instead of like always coming at you.
Well, the best part of Serious Sam is those guys running with the bombs in their hands, screaming.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, they're the best.
That's my favorite part too. I'm with you. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
You gotta make good choices too, because if you're gonna get deeper into the pit, the first time you play, you're like, whatever, just choose this power. Yeah, let's choose this power too. Let's see, long range, sure, why not? How about short range? That works good too. I found out very quickly that it was very important for progression to pick the right things and pick things that would, because all these buffs they stack.
They stack
as you get further and further down.
Stackable buffs. That's right, baby.
Yeah, you got to stack them buffs, baby.
Yep.
And once you get to a certain point, I mean, if you don't, man, you get into a world of hurt and you die pretty quick. Then you're very disappointed. Start all over again.
Yeah.
So I learned the hard way on that, which is fine. This game does not handhold. I mean, literally, you start out on the streets and you go to like the different doors and you ring the bells and they go, "Go away! Nobody's here. We don't want any." It's like,
wow.
Go save 2 villagers and I'll open up. Until then, bugger off.
Wow.
And
Are they British?
they do. And
Are they British?
It's not, I don't know if I don't. Well, they're it's Dark Ages. It looks it's probably European of some sort, I'm sure, but
okay.
Anglo-Saxon kind of people.
I'm down with that.
They all have unibrows though. I think I couldn't really tell. It kind of looked like that. It was kind of dark, but.
I was going to tell you about this thing. I was playing a first-person shooter that's set in World War II on console. It's also on PCs, called Enlisted is the name of the game.
Okay.
I'm not going to review it, but I can tell that it was written and voiced by like Russians or something. And it's not even the accent. It's like, our men are going to the goal. Like, instead of going, we're on our way to stop the Germans, or some other cool sounding World War II thing. It's always,
how do you think the Americans sounded?
our people are on the thing. And then when the Germans yell, they don't sound any
Right.
different. They're like, we have
That's
gone to
hilarious.
the place for the goal. It's like, you guys
We
need to
are
work on-
stupid Americans, and we are hitting the.
That's a really cool game.
We are
but the-
driving the tanks.
It's just a bad translation. I don't know what's going on.
Right. I
right.
like it.
Well, there you
So,
go.
yeah.
Into
But
the pit.
I gotta give my
Oh, give
pros
me
and
your review.
cons.
Yeah, give me your total.
I gotta give some of my pros and cons while I was talking about it. Pros cons looks good. You got some nostalgia with luminescent haze to make it feel new and exciting. I love that part. Easy to hop in and play. When you first start this game, so Nightspot's Game Pass, couple of gigs, install it remotely like I did, and then just hop on and play. To really appreciate it, though, you really gotta focus on the rogue part of it. Cons, stupid environmental objects stop my flow. I talked about flow.
Okay.
Kiss my grits game.
That's number one.
Progression is slow. Progression is super slow. It's like, oh my God. I played a couple of, like, I played what, like 6-7 hours, and I'd only saved like 2 villagers.
Yeah.
It's top end is 45 villagers, so I didn't expect it to go too much faster. But I mean, you only can open like one merchant up. There's like 6 merchants, and you can open like one merchant up with 1 villager, and then the next level is like 5 or 20, and I'm like, this is gonna take freaking ever.
Yeah. Some grind.
Yeah, so I could use a little more hand holding too. That was kind of a con for me. I'm like, I don't mind being just dropped into the middle of things, but when something as important as which powers to pick so you can go deeper into the pit, I'm gonna need a little hand holding on that because just trying to guess, let me try this 2 together, let me try these 2 together. It's
Yeah,
not
I don't
the
like
greatest.
guessing.
So I'm gonna give this thing 7.5. What the hell was that out of 10? Oh, it's
Oh.
just a flying flaming skull. No big deal.
Oh, that's all it is. No big deal. Flaming
all it
skulls are everywhere you look.
Yeah. Once again, that is in.
Someone
the
asked
pit.
if you got a haircut, and no, the answer dies tomato is he's wearing a hat.
Oh, hat. Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about my wig that I wear occasionally. No,
I
wear
don't know if that's what he means. I think he thinks you just got a haircut. I don't know.
Oh, my hat. Well, look at this.
Yeah, see, look, he's got a pony in the back there. It's like a little doodle, like a little penis.
Coo, 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 coo.
Yeah,
Little pony. Yeah.
Little hair penis.
Little,
all right.
I don't think that's what that's called.
Oh,
Okay.
well, what do I know? All right. Well done, everybody. Again, our games were Into the Pit, and mine was called Inscription with a Y in the middle. Okay?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Here is now this.
It's me, Mario.
Guess our game. That's right. We play a game called Guess My Game, where I play a game sound. Brian has to try to guess when it happened and what it is.
We have a game within a game inside our game show.
Called Game
Game.
Sound Game. Yeah,
Game.
and he does the same thing, and it's a real fun thing. Nobody really loses or wins anything, but it's fun to do, so we're going to do it. Here is my sound for this week. The hints are 1992. And this
No,
was
that's like a year after mine.
Oh wow! All right, and this was captured on a Nintendo. A Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, so here you go, Brian. Here's your sound. See if you can figure it out. The top part may seem obvious, but don't blurt out an answer just yet. Okay, that's
All right.
That's my other hint. Here you go.
Oh, I know this one. There was like a rocket race kind of Warner Brothers Looney Tunes thing, right?
Well, you tell me.
Is it like it's like a kart race kind of thing? They're on rockets. Is that what? Am I thinking right? Is
Maybe
it,
I don't know. I don't know. You're right that it's in the Looney Tunes thing.
Oh, so it's not like a kart rally kind of game. Then it's not going to be in that area.
Well, all I know is it's Looney Tunes themed. That's all I can tell
It's
you.
absolutely Looney Tunes. 92 would have been when Spielberg was still working on the Tiny Toons.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what Tiny Toons games would have been out at that time.
I hate Tiny Toons. Have I made that clear how much I hate the Tiny Toons? Gosh dang it,
Interesting.
I hate them. Oh, I hate them. I hate them. I hate Muppet Babies. And send me all the hate email you want. I don't care. Those two things sucked. They sucked.
Right.
Ugh, they're awful.
But I didn't hear no basketball in there, so I mean, I wouldn't think it would be
Well, Jam didn't come out till when?
like
96,
94, 96,
6, I think. Wasn't it?
90, was
I'm
it
good
that
with.
late?
I'm usually good with movies and dates. Let me see.
Yeah.
NBA Jam release date. It's gonna try to. Tell
I'm
me.
going to go in what year was it? 92?
Yeah, 92.
I'm going to go is it an SNES title? SNES title?
It is an SNES. Well, yeah, it may have been on Genesis also. I'm not sure. But where I got
Right.
my idea
But I
was
remember
that-
I could see this cover art. I think I can. I'm seeing like Buster and
Oh, not
Babs.
NBA Jam. What am I thinking of?
No,
Space
it's
Jam.
Looney is
We're thinking of Space Jam, right? Is that what we're thinking of?
Space Jam. Yeah, Space Jam. Space Jam.
Okay, the first Space Jam came out
91.
in 96. I was right.
Oh, okay, perfect. So it'd been too early for a Space Jam.
10th highest
This
grossing film of 1996. Wow.
Yeah. But this was when when Bugs Bunny was starting to go all like hipster, where not hipster, that kind of b-boy attitude kind of thing going on. You know,
Right.
had like the pants pulled down.
I'll
with
give
the
you a
hat
further hint.
backwards.
I'll give you a hint that'll help you narrow. It only involves one. We'll say two characters from the Looney Tunes business. That's all who's in this. And let's say those two characters are always with each other.
Oh, then it's got to be Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote then.
Well, then
Right.
I guess you're close enough. I'm gonna give you a ding on that. You win. Hold on, where's the ding? I can't find the ding.
Well,
so-
I knew it had to be something with racing because you could hear all the.
Here, I'll make this sound.
Activate Pac-Man.
There, that means you kind of won. It's what's it
Could have a
called?
point.
It's called Roadrunner. Wait, where's the full title?
Yeah, I remember this. Is there like is Roadrunner like in front of a stage or something, like a wooden stage? I'm trying to remember. I can
Now
remember this. I can remember this cover art too.
I lost the subtitle. Hold on. It's called.
That's
here it
okay.
is.
Roadrunner Lost in Time. No, Roadrunner.
Roadrunner Death Valley Rally.
Oh, Death Valley Rally. So it did have Rally in it. Okay.
It did. You know what? You were a lot
Yeah.
closer than I gave you credit for it. It did have Death
Yeah.
Rally Valley in it. Yeah, it's basically a side scroller though. It's just the Roadrunner running real fast and jumping over shit. It's basically Sonic the Hedgehog with a Roadrunner.
What? The Roadrunner running fast?
Yeah, it's not great.
Is there a mini game with Slowpoke Rodriguez?
No, I wish, because everyone loves that person that you just mentioned.
Right.
Here it is, chat room. You can see it. It's just, they're the whole point of getting through a kind of a level or a stretch.
I remember this.
The part of the stretch you get through when you get to the end, the coyote ends up getting bonked or killed or lost or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it never gets killed, but and you try, you can go back and try to beat your times and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't like great or anything, but I remember at the time thinking, well, this isn't so bad for for a Roadrunner game. But look at it. Look at this scene right here. I mean, this is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, that
shit.
is Sonic. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They put it both on. I wonder if they actually did put it on Sega or if this was like their answer on Nintendo for.
No, it feels like
Sonic
this
or
wasn't Nintendo exclusive. I know that. I think this
Okay,
was
so
just
wasn't that, yeah.
It was probably both, but yeah, it's again not memorable other than hey, Looney Tunes in video game form. Everybody check it out. Kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
I mean they have a lot of crappy little games that just hit the nostalgia button, right? It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
oh yeah, without a doubt. It's a pretty janky platformer. That's a good way of putting it. Quantum Feline in the
Yeah.
chat. I agree with you.
oh look at that! He hit the balloon and now it's going crazy.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
It's insane. All right, Brian, I'm going to push play on this here thing that you sent me.
Now, okay, mine is going to be kind of one of those games. You're either going to hear it, you're immediately going to know it, and it's not necessarily because of the music, but I mean, it's so ingrained in our heads that you'd probably know it. And if not, by about the 45-second mark, I think there's some bigger clues that hit. So, 1991 was my game. Also, an SNES title. I think it was arcade and SNES only, and that's all I'm going to say.
All right, here we go. Wait, there was like a little yeah. I mean, the music's Teenage Mutant. Am I getting a Ninja Turtles vibe out of this?
Absolutely. Can you go a little further?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time?
There you go. Turtles in Time.
Oh,
Turtle
man.
Power.
Turtle Power. Doodle doo doo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I played the shit out of that back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music's the part that gives it away. The rest of it could
Yeah.
be any beat 'em up. But
It's almost as iconic if I had just said, here's Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Marker. I mean,
Yeah,
There's like Pac-Man.
that one's not too hard. I think you went easy on me because last week's yours was really hard. I think, and
It was.
yeah.
Yeah.
So why not? We can give each
Well,
other a
I
break.
think maybe, and plus I was also kind of toying with the idea. I was like, we kind of avoid these super easy ones, but what if we went with a couple of super easy ones and had like a clock timer, like see how fast you can get it.
Yeah.
It's like, can you get it in the first 15 seconds? I can name that video game in the first 10 seconds. Boom.
I feel you. That was I remember being really into that for a long time. I wonder how it play today. Probably not as well.
I was watching it recently, and it plays fine. Plays fine.
Okay. Well, fine is better than bad. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Mutant Nightmare, but
But
whatever.
what is?
Right.
Right? Right. Okay,
Right.
Now this. Hey, look at this, everyone. That music means it's time for us to read an email. Oh, before we do, Scott, next week, that's me. I'm going to play Echo Generation for the show. That's my next big review, and I've already had a taste, and I like it a lot. So we'll talk about that. I hope it holds up and is as good now or then as it is now, because it seems really cool. Anyway, Brian's going to play a game called They Always Run.
They always run,
Yeah.
and let's just shoot them in the back.
Oh, well, then they don't run. They stop. They stop running.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
They always run, unless they're shot in the back. That's the full name of the game. Anyway, that'll be next week. They Always Run and Echo Generation. Here's an email sent to us at boopshow@gmail.com. This is from Dupless. I think is how you'd say his name, Dupless.
Yeah, that Dupless is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's perfect, but that name reading.
Well, I mean, the what you said, the
I
way
see.
you read the name.
I see what you
think
mean.
is
I see
perfect.
what you did there. He says, "Hey, Scott and Brian, I love the show. Please keep it up. When was the last time you played an indie game that you also felt would be game of the year if you could pick it? Thanks for all
Yes.
you do, Dupless." Do you have an answer to that question?
Absolutely. A few weeks back, I played something called Potion Craft. Scott hated it, but I loved it and
I
think I
didn't
could
hate it.
continue playing it forever.
For the record, I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it, but you had
Struggle
issues.
with it. Struggling with it.
Yeah.
I'll keep going back, though. It's in early access. Who knows where that thing's going to go? So
Yeah.
I'll keep at it. That's a good call. Potion Craft is, I know you loved it, so that seems perfect. It's not out yet, so I don't know if I can count Shipbreaker yet, but probably.
But you played a lot. Yeah, that's a unique case because
Yeah.
it's not really out yet, but you've had a lot of experience with it.
Because I love that game.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to just be done. I'm tired of all these resets they're doing, but I love that game. The other one was, what was I gonna? I think that Deep Rock Galactic probably would have won last year. Had I been able to say, oh yeah, that was my game. I really, really like Deep Rock a lot.
Did it come out in 2020 or is it 2019?
It did.
That had a really
2020.
long.
It was 2020, but they had
access.
long early access, a really good early access. Those guys were great, but
Yeah.
finally came out last year officially. That game's rad. And there was one other one I was going to mention. Can't think of it.
I think Inscription was probably the last one you played that might have Game of the Year on it.
I mean, it might this year. Like, I enjoyed it that much. I'd probably at least consider it. But I'm trying to think. There's got to be one other one. I mean, Hades is a good example. Although Hades is a game that's a team I'm starting to not. You can't call them indie as much as you used to be able to. They still are. I don't know. They got a lot of money.
I don't know.
I don't know what the line is. Like, when do they stop being indies? I don't know. Like, do they hit a certain threshold?
I think once you sign that deal with the devil, it's all over.
It's done.
It's done.
Fat money. I guess if they're still making and publishing their own game.
Yeah, I
still
think we talked about what an indie is before, and I've always stood by the idea that you're an indie as long as you have final say. As long as you are able to go, I as a developer have the final say and don't have to go to a board of anybody or any money holders and go, money holders, is this a good idea? Or you have to step down from your company because you said something stupid because the money holders are pissed at you.
Yeah, but
you're not an indie anymore.
You wouldn't call like Bungie, you wouldn't call them an indie, but they're
not an indie, and they are beholden to
nobody,
to at least some money. With maybe not anybody else outside them, but they are definitely have to answer to the money man.
Well, I mean, they're not publicly traded. They don't have they publish themselves now. Like they're all on their own. I don't know, man.
Then I stand corrected. They are an indie, a very big indie.
They launched that tiny indie game known as Destiny 2, everybody, that's everywhere and gigantic. I don't know. I think it's just hard. I think there's a lot of weird, like, counterexamples, and maybe it's just harder for us to, I don't know. We always, the stuff we cover on the show, they seem like obvious indies because it's like a team of four dudes and a lady, like something like that. But no,
I think if your business, I think if your business is going to shut down because you made some bad choices, then you're so big you're no longer an indie.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, because if they made some bad choices about Disney, they could eventually be like, okay, well, looks like we're heading back to Smallville.
Yeah, but Dice Tomato's right about Halo. Bungie, they did fund Bungie in the Halo days. You're right.
Right.
And then when they left that, they went to Activision for Destiny. And then they broke the Activision deal, and now they're on their own. I don't know if you can go back to indie status once you've been AAA status.
We don't want you here.
Yeah.
We ain't got nothing for you, sir. Keep moving on.
We ain't got nothing here for you.
Anyway, maybe you can. We're learning new things here on the Boop Show, just like you guys at home are. And if you're at home going, man, I really like to email them and chew them out for that dumb thing they just said, do it. boopshow@gmail.com. That's boopshow@gmail.com. Real quick, there's the Boop Show Twitter account. We're going to try to put more content on there and have it be less of a, guess what, we're going live with the show. Like, that's kind of boring and lame. I want to put more game stuff on there. So we set up another account that kind of just puts up whenever everything goes live. So if something's going to go live on the Frog Pants Network, that account will tell you. It's called Frog Pants Live. That's it, @Frog Pants Live. So that way you can avoid the spam of live show notifications altogether on Twitter if you want by not following it. But you can still follow the Boop Show because we're going to put like actual meaningful, cool content on there. That's the idea anyway. So keep your eye on that. That's Frog Pants Live for all the live notifications, and Boop Show for everything else. Follow Brian on his Twitch channel @Brian Dunaway. Follow me at Scott Johnson. Nope, follow me at Frog Pants. I did it wrong. Frog Pants is where that is. And you can find me on the Twitter @Scott Johnson. Brian's @the Brian Dunaway.
Oh, hi. You know what? It'd be a great thing to do.
What would be a great thing to do? What do you got?
Take that indie conversation we had and take it over to the Boop Show Reddit page.
Yeah.
And let's have a discussion about it, because I see already on Reddit there's already some hot threads about when will Bungie become an indie developer? Are the indie developer? There's already been some discussions. All these people are wrong. We need to have our own thread where we have the straight dope.
Yep, exactly. Look at that. The Wraith 86 says, does indie mean size or wealth? Maybe it means neither of those things. Maybe.
But that's a sure way to get a date.
Well, that's
Is
true.
it size or wealth?
Size and wealth. That'll get you anybody you want. All right. Hey, that's it for the show,
It'll
everybody.
get me.
Brian, mostly size, but the wealth helps.
Right. Yeah.
We're done. Brian, anything wise to say before we go?
Yeah, join me tomorrow for we're gonna play some community stuff over there. Jackbox Games, do it. Brian Dunaway on Twitch.
Oh yeah, the Mission Peeps.
Yes, the Mission. You gonna come? You gotta come. I'm gonna invite you right here publicly. Then you have to come. Yeah,
I
no
actually
choice.
think I
But
might.
okay.
I might, because that thing with Wednesdays is staying on Wednesdays.
Chop chop.
Yeah, I might.
Chop chop.
I might come by there. I'll let you know. But for the rest of us, and for me, and for Brian, and for the rest of us here at the Frog Pants Central, none of that exists. Just me and Brian. Thank you for listening, for watching, for hanging out with us. And we'll be back with more next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I don't like Steam. I love Steam.
Command the Enterprise. Play Star Trek.
Okay.